Hey y'all, thanks for stopping in. So, as a Christian with Easter tomorrow, I am extremely disappointed and frankly appalled by what Biden has done in that he has declared Easter Sunday, quote, Transgender Day of Visibility. So, March 31st, the day before the 1 year anniversary of Dylan Mulvaney, Biden declares Easter Sunday Transgender Day of Visibility. So let's look at this article. I was planning on relaxing the rest of the day, but I just can't, and I got to talk about this. So, the White House has officially proclaimed Sunday, the day on which billions of Christians will celebrate the resurrection of Jesus Christ, as Transgender Day of Visibility. Of course, he couldn't pick any other day of the year. He had to pick the Christian holiday, which to me completely exposes the Democrat regime's goals for our country. They want chaos. They want evil. But President Joe Biden released a proclamation on Friday calling on all Americans to join us in lifting up the lives and voices of transgender people throughout our nation and to work towards eliminating violence and discrimination based on gender identity. In the proclamation, the White House added that on Easter Sunday, we will honor the extraordinary courage and contributions of transgender Americans and reaffirm our nation's commitment to forming a more perfect union, where all people are created equal and treated equally throughout their lives. I mean, I have a question. How can a person declare we're all created equal, blah, 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 while stomping on billions, a holy day holiday? Right. We're all created equal and treated equally throughout our lives, but not if you're a Christian on Easter. They would prefer all non-Christians do this transgender thing rather than go to church or be respectful to the Christian holiday. They just want to challenge, and they want to put evil in your face to challenge. First of all, it's rather hilarious to me that Joe Biden would say that, would declare people are treated equally throughout their lives, with Hunter walking around free after admitting to all the stuff that he's admitted to publicly. But if you want to actually send a sincere message to Americans, don't do this on Easter. There's plenty of other days in the year. There's 364 other days that you could have chose. But instead, you're going to go with GLAAD. You remember GLAAD, G-L-A-A-D? Yeah, they were the ones that were setting up all the displays in Target with trans kids' clothes, gay pride kids' clothes, all that stuff that created quite a stir and backlash for Target in conjunction with what was going on with Bud Light at the same time. Let me show you. Let me square this up here. This is GLAAD, Transgender Day of Visibility. And I hate even being on this site, so I'll do it so that you guys don't have to. But each year on March 31st, the world observes Transgender Day of Visibility. To raise awareness about transgender people, it is a day to celebrate the lives and contributions of trans people while also drawing attention to the poverty, discrimination, and violence the community faces. By community, they don't mean the entire community. They just mean their little particular part of the community. But apparently the International Trans Day of Visibility was created in 2010 by trans activist Rachel Crandall. Crandall, the head of Transgender Michigan, created TDOV, the Trans Day of Visibility, in response to the overwhelming majority of media stories about transgender people being focused on violence. She hoped to create a day where people could celebrate the lives of transgender people while still acknowledging that due to discrimination, not every trans person can or wants to be visible. So they've been pushing this for 14 years. And finally, for them, Biden is going to go along with it. Go back to the original story here. And that just shows me that these people have been at it for a long time, trying to create a counter to Easter. They want to distract you. So in each of his first 3 years in the White House, Biden has issued proclamations for Transgender Day of Visibility to be recognized on March 31st. Leftist activists across the country will celebrate Transgender Day of Visibility, including some who will host a Trans Day of Vengeance concert on Sunday. The White House proclamation also comes just days after anniversary of the Covenant School shooting in Nashville, where a trans-identifying woman murdered 3 children and 3 adults at the Christian school. Biden did not issue a statement for the anniversary of the deadly shooting because he doesn't care about, right? In his Friday proclamation, Biden criticized extremists in the Republican-led states who have passed laws protecting children from life-altering gender procedures and conservatives who have fought to remove sexually explicit books from school libraries. Wholesome agendas. Trying to protect the innocence of children from people the likes of Joe Biden, right? I mean, he's telling you exactly who he is and what he supports, and he's also telling you what he's against and what he hates. And that's Christians on Easter, right? These bills attack our most basic American values: the freedom to be yourself, the freedom to make your own healthcare decisions, and even the right to raise your own child, Biden wrote. That is written very deceitfully. Let me break it down. The freedom to be yourself. You already had the freedom to be yourself. You don't need a bill. You already have the freedom to make your own healthcare decisions, except for what the government limits you, right? And even the right to raise your own child, in my opinion, means trans surgery for children. That's what he's talking about there. So it's written very deceitfully. The president then claimed trans-identifying Americans, especially women and girls of color, face an epidemic of violence. And I can also explain that. When you lie to somebody about who you are, and then they kiss you or do something more than that, and then they find out who you really are, Let me be clear, all of the attacks are un-American and must end, Biden added. No one should have to be brave just to be themselves. Whatever, dude. It's harder to come out as a Trump-supporting Christian nowadays than it is to come out as gay. Biden has used his office repeatedly to promote pro-trans and LGBTQ policies, inviting trans-identifying social media influencers to the White House events, such as Pride Month celebrations hosted on the South Lawn. The White House Transgender Day of Visibility declaration was slammed by social media users who are enraged the president promoted the day on Easter Sunday. Hey, Joe, I'm not celebrating your woke, imaginary, demonic holiday, wrote comedian and conservative commentator Chad Prather. It is a disgrace to put a transgender day of visibility on Easter of all days. I agree 100%. Kaylee McGee White, op-ed editor at the Washington Examiner, added, such utter contempt for Christians and their beliefs. Right. Biden makes all these extra efforts to talk about LGBT and trans and stuff like that, but where's the equality, right? I mean, he should be standing up for Christians and Muslims and all Americans, right? I mean, we all should be represented by the president equally. But Southern Baptist Theological Seminary professor Andrew T. Walker said, the true priorities of the Biden administration are desecration of the human body. While American Christians celebrate the pinnacle of their faith on Resurrection Sunday on March 31st, the faith that nourished the American experience, and also the faith that most of our laws are based under, the founding of our country and society, and the Biden administration are celebrating the same day as Transgender Day of Visibility. Read the room. You degenerate neo-Gnostics, he wrote. Maybe they'll muster the courage to say something about Easter, especially from this supposedly Catholic president, but we know their true priorities are desecrating the human body, not celebrating its renewal through Jesus' resurrection. And I 100% agree with him. I really hope Americans wake up to what Biden believes and is trying to do to our country, what he supports, what he endorses, the degeneracy that will destroy our country. This, to me, is an example, a grain of sand in the heap that shows that they want America to be a third world country. It's as simple as that. You can't have wide open borders like the Biden administration has right now. You can't be floating the idea of giving green cards to a ton of illegals. You can't continually send billions of dollars to a non-NATO ally, our taxpayer dollars, to a non-NATO ally to fight a country that we don't want to fight. A nuclear war with Russia would be devastating to multiple countries. It could ruin the United States for a century or more. We don't want to see our tax dollars go to Israel, a country that has health care for all, that has a GDP where they're making money, They don't need our money while we need our money more. America needs American tax dollars more than Israel needs it right now. Israel is very well equipped. Please don't get me wrong, I'm not pro-Palestine. I just don't want to see American tax dollars leaving the country, especially right now. We have too much in our own bedroom to clean up, to worry about other people's houses. And this is a disgrace that Biden would make this declaration on Easter Sunday, 2 days before Easter Sunday. It's not some random ignorant thing. It is very deliberate, and it damages the Easter holiday for Christians. And it's a slap in the face of Jesus Christ. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, share this one, and I'll see you guys in the next one.